Hi guys, Mons here. On this episode of All the Mons, we're just going to have a quick review of the Manchester United game versus Everton game last night. Just before I get started, if you're on my page, make sure to click on the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate all the support. So let's just get started. So the Manchester United versus Everton game was a Monday Night Football. I was looking forward to this game simply because I want to see how Manchester United are going to play after the international break. And also, we're going on a 5-game unbeaten run. We had 3 wins and 2 draws. So I felt like there was a chance there to keep the momentum going. But however, in this game, it was the complete opposite. In this game, we ended up losing 1-0. I was very, very disappointed, I'm not going to lie to you, because going into this game, I felt very, very confident. I felt like it was going to be a tough game against the David Moyes team. And to be fair, I do think Everton are a pretty decent team. And like I said in my last podcast, literally this Premier League season, anyone can beat anyone. Arsenal are the only top team in the Premier League this year. Apart from Arsenal, the other maybe 11, 12, 13 teams all bunched up can beat each other on any given day. So I'm just going to go through a couple of things in this game. When it was 11-11, I felt Everton were the better team. They looked a lot more even dangerous going forward. And then when it went to Everton down to 10 men, I was like, okay, let's get on the front foot here. Let Manchester United get on the front foot. And as soon as Everton got man sent off, we saw Everton looked even more dangerous in the counter-attack against Manchester United team. Like, our goal difference this year is 0. So I think we've scored 19, we've conceded 19. For a team that plays so-called a back 5 or back 3, the defensive record is completely atrocious in my opinion. It's not acceptable. It's simply not acceptable, the defensive record that Manchester United have this year. We've scored 19, conceded 19. For a team that played 3 or 5 at the back, we need to be a lot more solid in my opinion. Honestly, I was very, very disappointed. Very, very disappointed in this game. I felt the game was definitely taken. Although, like I said, Everton looked a lot more dangerous with 10 men on counter than we looked with 11 players, which is very, very telling. When that happens, it's simply down to this system and formation. I know I hate banging on about it, and I'm not saying Amorim should get fired. No, I actually back Amorim. I'm going to back him to the end of the season. Let's see where we are by the end of the season with Amorim. But what I would say is, when a team is down to 10 men and you have a 1-man advantage, surely if you're playing 3 at the back, you take one of the centre halves off, or you push them off, or you push them into midfield, or push them into one of the wing. So you have to do something, especially losing 1-0 at half time. I felt mainly should either come on for Delish or Euro. One of the centre half mainly should have came on for, and then push Bruno higher up instead of bringing Mason Mount on. That was my opinion, because Bruno, we know what Bruno's like. When Bruno's that number 10 position, he's in complete flow state. But unfortunately, he hasn't got a chance to play this season under Amorim. And then Patrick Dorgo. He's honestly brain dead. Like, I've tried my best to like this player. Physically, he's a good athlete. There's no complaint whatsoever with Dorgo physically, but technically, he's very, very poor. He cannot cross the ball in. Like, what do you do on the training ground? Do they actually work on this crossing on the training ground since the past 12 months has been at Manchester United? Like, his the delivery hasn't improved whatsoever. And also, Joshua Zirkzee. I'm sick to my stomach watching Joshua Zirkzee start for my team last night. I couldn't believe what I was watching with Joshua Zirkzee. I don't mind Joshua Zirkzee sometimes. However, in a game like yesterday, he's just not a guy for that game. I said in my preview for the game, I felt Mason Mount should have started and maybe started Mbeumo in the number 9 position, or play Bruno as a false 9. That was literally the game plan. That should have been the game plan for Amorim. And he also had a chance to do that when we went down to when Everton went down to 10 men in the second half when 1-0 down. Put Bruno higher up, bring Maino into that midfield, keep Casemiro on, take one of the centre halves off, and use Maino as a replacement, and maybe push Shaw into the left wing back position, because Shaw has a brilliant delivery in my opinion, and Shaw technically is very, very good. So I was very, very surprised he didn't make that move. And also, like I said, I'm going to keep backing Amorim. However, what I do get annoyed is when we lose, you always say, oh, it's not going to change the system. If you want to change the system, you have to get rid of the man. Stop saying that. I'm going to say it gets on the supporter's nerve. Like, if you're a leader, and if you're a player in that changing room, and your manager's coming out after every defeat saying he's not going to change the system, if they want to change the system, they should fire him. That doesn't breed confidence at all to the players, in my opinion. He needs to relax. He's so, like, for a manager who preaches so much about emotional intelligence, he's so reactive. Every single time we lose, he said he wants to get, like, come on, just calm down, take a deep breath before you go do your press conference after. I'm not saying he should get fired. I'm going to back him to the end of the season, see where we end up at the end of the season. Like I said, this Premier League season, anyone can beat anyone. However, I did not expect to lose to 10-man Everton at Old Trafford yesterday. It was very, very disappointing. The next 5 games are going to be very, very tough. I saw a couple of Man United fans online saying, "Oh, this next 5 games are very winnable." Of course they are. It's the Premier League; anyone can beat anyone. But however, you have Palace away. I don't think we're going to win that one. West Ham at home, we might have a chance of winning that one. Wolves away. Wolves are poor team. They haven't got a point so far. I hope they don't get their first points against us. Bournemouth, we're home for Bournemouth. It's going to be a tough game. Bournemouth one of the best teams in the Premier League this season. Villa away. I don't think we're going to win that one either. So it's going to be next. It's going to be very challenging for the next 5 games for Amorim and the Manchester United squad. I hope he plays Bruno higher up, and or hopefully Okonya is back fit. We need to work something out for our attackers, because we looked very bland yesterday and very simple, and Everton were able to snuff out every single one of our attacks. Like I said, we have to. So frustrated, however. We had good momentum in the last 5 games, 3 wins, 2 draws. But look, we just have to go again. This is the Premier League. Like I said, any team can beat any team. But it is very disappointing. However, we have to keep moving on. Against a Palace away, it's going to be a very tough game. Palace, one of the best teams in the Premier League this season, one of the best watches in the Premier League this season, and they're going to create chances. They actually play a very similar style to Manchester United, so we're going to see how this style matches up. I'm looking forward to that game. Anyways, that's the end of my review. Just a quick review for the Manchester United and Everton game. Like I said, disappointing not to get the 3 points, not even to get a point. We have to go again. We have to build up again. We have to build up momentum again in this league. Make sure to click on the subscribe button if you make it to the end of my video. I do appreciate all the support. If you have already clicked on the subscribe button, make sure you like, you share, you comment. If you have any comment, make sure you drop in the comment section. We can have a good debate in the comment section. Thank you very much. Have a lovely week. See you on Friday for my Game Week 13 preview, prediction, and obviously my risky pick alert. Thank you very much. Have a good week.